Fight Live returns to Channel 5 this Friday. Two of Britain's most exciting super lightweights collide at London's legendary York Hall. Don't miss Eubank vs Farrell this Friday on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Look who's back on the channel, AJ Bunker. Thanks for giving me some of your time. How are we?
I'm really good, thanks, mate. A little bit ill, so trying to sweat out at the moment, but as good as you can be when you're trying to nurse a cold.
Looking forward to seeing you back in the ring tomorrow. Have you kind of got the bug for it now? Everyone says the same thing. They kind of dip their fingers into it, take it a bit more seriously than they thought, and then they're just hooked. Is that the case with you?
Absolutely. I love it now. I don't see myself stopping ever. Even if I stopped fighting, I'll still be doing the training. I love boxing. I love combat sports. So yeah, you're gonna keep seeing me, guys. You ain't gonna get rid of me now because I just love it. I've fallen in love with the sport. So yeah.
Let's talk about the experience on the Kingpin show. Obviously, didn't go your way, but I can imagine you took so much of that. And I suppose there must be a little bit of that, of what's driving you to come back and succeed at this sport again.
Absolutely. I took that fight on with 2 weeks' notice, and I think people forget that. Like, I literally went in with 2 weeks' notice, so it's not really a long... I didn't have a fight camp, so I went in for the experience, whereas with this fight, I'm going in for the win. Every fight now, I'm going to go for the win, but with that first fight, I went in for the experience, wanted to see what it's all about, and I fell in love with it. I was like, I'm going to dip my toe in, see how it feels, and it felt good. So, yeah, from that, I just learned, I ain't going to be punching like that again, trust me. If I do windmill fists and windmill punches, my coach has already said he's gone. So, yeah, no, I've learned a lot from that. But I'm glad I did it. As I said, anyone who steps in with 2 weeks' notice, it's not going to be the best.
You know what? I've learned a lot from watching influencer boxing, and you mentioned kind of the windmill fist. Yeah. I've learned that coaches can tell people what they want, but when you're not a professional fighter and you step in that ring and you don't have the professional mindset, you kind of get carried away. There's adrenaline. Anything can happen. Like that sort of thing is extremely common, and to be honest, I've seen that in pretty much every influencer fight.
Do you know what? It's fight or flight on the night, and that's the thing. So I think at the time you're just like, if you're not professional, and
you learned about the window?
My first fight, it definitely did. I was just like, you know what? The one thing my coach did say to me for that fight was to fight on my back foot and fight on the back foot, and I did do that. So I was definitely on the back foot for that fight, and I was doing the 1-2 moving off, like my coach said. But in terms of my punches, yeah, it was different. It weren't like I was sharp on the pads, but when it came to the fight, it was, as I said, I just wanted to keep her away from me. I knew she was going for a knockout, so I was like, I'm going to make this as awkward as I can for this girl. I'm going to make it through 4 rounds. As long as I don't get knocked out, that's a win for me. So
very different this time in terms of the contrast in personalities. Last time you and Elle, you could not get off each other. It's like every time you see each other, at each other's throats, online, and then in person. Then you had the little, I'm not going to say scrap, the little fuffle at the weigh-in. Yeah, very different this time. You seem to be friends, I suppose.
Yeah, so me and Tash were friends before this. We met through Celeb MMA. She was actually one of my teammates. So we are mates, but it doesn't mean we're going to be friends in the boxing ring. As I said, I want to win. I want my boxing, influencer boxing career to keep growing. So, look, I love the girl. The thing is, as you pros know, you don't have to be enemies. I'm sure there have been fighters that have had to fight their friends, but it's all about winning. It's all about the sport. And that's what I wanted to show about this sport as well, is that you don't have to be at each other's throats. It is part of the sport is the fight, but it can be respectful as well. But yeah, look, me and Tash, we're friends, but it ain't going to be like that in the night. Trust me, I am coming for the win. I'm coming for that belt. And then I'm coming for whoever is next afterwards. So yeah, it's what it is. So yeah.
We're going to talk about kind of what you want, or perhaps an opponent for an end goal in a second. But you say about you don't have to hate each other. Do influencers really hate each other? Because it seems like from spending time around them, every single one seems to know each other, be it the reality TV influencers, be it the YouTube, the models. They all seem to know each other from that kind of circle. Yeah. Do many of them hate each other, really?
I think there's a lot of people who have got personal...
It seems quite a friendly circle.
You know what? I think everyone sort of knows of each other. There might be some personal beefs, but I think at the end of the day, people want to win, and you got to build a fight, and you have to go into that aggressive state. Even at the press conference the other day, I was still outing my girl, and she's my friend, and I was just like, I'm still going to smash her up. I don't care. It is part of the sport. So, I think everyone just gets get into that aggressive area. But I know there are some beefs, but I think most of the time people get on. We live in a small world, guys. We live in a world where life's too short to be hating on everyone. But yeah, you do have to channel that anger for fight night. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think being around the influencers and yeah, I think there are some genuine beasts, but usually I think most people get on. I think, yeah.
Well, like you said, life's too short to hate everyone.
Life is way too short.
Have you got kind of like I'll say an end goal in terms of either where you want to be or someone you really want to fight? Like, if you look at, trying to think of an example, I can't think one off the top of my head, but it seems like a lot of fighters kind of have their end goal, be it to maybe even box professionally. I don't know. You must have something in the back of your mind. I know obviously full focus is the next thing, but you must have something there.
My goal at the moment is to get the first female influencer boxing title. That's what I want, because no girl's ever had it, and that's what I want. So that's what I'm going to be striving for.
And is that your bargaining tool for the big stuff?
That is what I'm going. That's what I'm aiming for. That's why if I have, whether I have to be fight my friends, my enemies, whoever I got to get in the ring with. Look, I fought someone I didn't like. I'm fighting someone I do like, and I will show that no matter whether it's a friend or enemy, I will get through that person to get that title, and that's what I'm aiming for at the moment. So, and then whatever happens from there, will happen from there. I've always said if I get good enough, I'd love to make my own boxing academy for like females, LGBT community. Obviously, men are welcome as well, but somewhere that women and the LGBT community could feel like a safe space for them to learn how to box, learn self-defense, self-confidence. All the good stuff that comes with boxing. I want women and like the LGBT community to have an area that they can get into it as well. So yeah, that's what I'm striving for as well.
Fight Live returns to Channel 5 this Friday. Two of Britain's most exciting super lightweights collide at London's legendary York Hall. Don't miss Eubank vs Farrell this Friday on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.